Hi everyone, it's Jen again, and I have another weekly update on OtomeJam end of week 2. So this week I have been working on basically all of the character sprites. There's going to be 5 different characters that the player can summon and go on dates with. So each one of these characters has 5 different emotional expressions, as well as 7 different accessories that they can pull from the gacha, like kind of costume accessories, or smaller. I shouldn't say costume because I'm going to mix that up with the other outfit changes. So 7 little kind of accessories that they can wear, and 5 full costume changes. So this was a lot of options to have. And you can see that I'm still using AnimeFX to export these as WebMs. The file size compression is pretty stark. I knew that compressing them as WebMs was a lot smaller file size wise than using like PNG sequences, but I don't think I realized how much smaller. Granted, I've switched over from using PNG sequences to using WebP sequences, which compressed it probably about 80% from what I was using before, but I still feel like I need to have that level of control. But something like over 200, gosh, when I'm exporting these files, when I'm exporting them as like the PNGs that I'm then kind of converting into WebMs and WebM the masks, just one of these PNGs out of like the thousands of PNGs that I'm crunching into these 3-second WebMs is already larger than the WebMs themselves. So I think that's pretty amazing. I wish that WebMs and WebPs were more universally used. It was a more, I guess, compatible format for most major like video editors and image editors. I'm not really quite sure why. What's the hang up on letting me import WebPs into Photoshop? Like, I don't understand why that's not a thing. But I'm not a Photoshop programmer, so what do I know? Anyways, the thing that I wanted to talk about, that's been my week, has been making these animations and converting them. The thing that I wanted to just kind of talk about today was using condition switches. So in the case where I have all these like costumes and accessories for programming these, each one of the characters has so these are the different outfits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are the different accessories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a variable that is a string that is going to be what costume that they are currently equipped with. And you can see that depending on what that variable is, I've made these different strings to correlate with the different versions of the sprite with the costume change. Then that will be what's displayed. So it looks like a lot to set up the sprites here, but we just have the 5 different expressions, so the idle, sigh, angry, shy, happy, and you can use these condition switches for like customizing player main characters and stuff like that as well. Not necessarily like a dress-up game like this. We are just attaching, instead of having like the image switch here, we're just putting the same line of code that we would use for a movie image declaration in that spot. So it's pretty straightforward. We're using the same channel for this character. So in the script itself, when we're testing it, all we have to do here is change the variable, and then he'll change his costume. And we'll win the program, what that looks like. Right now the default is wearing his like sleepwear, and we can see that we've changed the variable here to his usual daily outfit. So that's kind of where this is. This is my usual attire, you can see here. But the sprite here is just the character sprite with the expression. So that doesn't have to change for me to change the sprite to reflect whatever outfit the character, the player may have dressed him in. So I don't have to make alternate versions of the program or the script to reflect whatever costume change he might be having. So the player will have the freedom to be able to change his costume at any point in the story without me having to like write for that, if that makes any sense. And it keeps the sprite code here at just the character name, so all that's just a little bit cleaner. And we can see this line of code here where we're going to change the outfit again with this little variable change here, and pop, he's in a different costume there. So yeah, pretty easy, basic Renpy standard stuff. But this is actually my first time using a condition switch with movie sprites. So I know it might sound kind of funny to say it, but I hadn't actually seen anybody just replace the image with the movie sprite, so I wasn't sure like how well it was going to work. If there was going to be like lag or desync, or if maybe there just wasn't going to be like compatibility with this condition switch function and the movie sprites, but everything's working as expected. So if that is a feature that you want to place in your game, it's pretty easy to do so. Alright, well, that's all I really have for this week. It's been a pretty uneventful week as far as like game development has gone. That was pretty much all that I've been working on was the sprites. I still have a few expressions to wrap up with Asher, but all the other characters are done. Once you've got the one character programmed, it's super easy because I could just copy this, rename it when I'm implementing a new character. Go in there, Control F here, replace all my instances of Jeth with Katner, because I've used all the same kind of like uniform naming for the different costume categories and the different expression categories. Just change all 366 instances of that, and now Katner's program's in there. We just have to save it. So a lot of what I find with kind of creating a project I guess I just didn't know until I was making the projects and like making them the wrong ways is how much work you can save yourself in the long run of just organizing your files, organizing your naming, how you name the files, both in how you name your assets and you name your variables, can just save you so much work in the long run. Whoops. Let's go ahead. I don't know what I just did. didn't mean to copy that in there. I wanted to copy this again. And go ahead and make that for Asher. Okay, let's change that to Asher. And now he's programmed too. So really just the first character that I had to set up, and this was originally my version without the condition switches, and then I realized that, oh, I really shouldn't be doing these as separate. Each one of these is like a separate channel, because that's really inefficient. So once we wrote this once, and we could just use it for the other characters. And it's yeah, it's pretty fast. It's just been the making the sprite animations and I guess kind of like exporting them and making the masks for them. That's kind of time consuming. So I have another video that I'll go ahead and link to show how to make webms from PNGs and the masks for making the transparency work in Renpy. And then on the other end too, you can see that we've started to get the background going. Here the image buttons are disabled. If we look in the programming, we have different image buttons for each of the kind of objects in the background. So they will be hoverable, and you can interact with them. They will be able to decorate your room in the game as well. So that will be kind of like a little customizable thing, since the player character themselves aren't shown. You can't really customize the appearance of your player character, but you can at least customize the room to give yourself a little bit more personality. And there will also be nighttime and daytime variation for the room as well. Alright, well, I think that's all I've got for this week again. And don't forget to enjoy the process. And I'll see you next week. Alright, take care. Bye-bye.